Hello and welcome back to NGS Storm Division. I am your host, I am the Crushinator, and tonight I'm not alone. I'm here with Mockery. How you doing tonight, Mockery?
Hello! I'm doing very well. I haven't cast one of these in a minute, so it's exciting to come back out here and get a look at these games, and a very fun game it looks like by the looks of it. You know, it's just jumping right back in with Storm Division. It's very exciting.
Absolutely. We've got a big one here today. GG Till I Die taking on Heavy Impact. These two teams have been battling it out for the top of the standings all season long. And whichever team wins here, whether it be GG Till I Die or Heavy Impact, both of them will go through to first seed, either by a tiebreaker or by simply being ahead in points. So it comes down to it right here, right now. Whoever gets first seed going into these playoffs. Exciting stuff.
And I find that, for me personally, I remember playing Heroes of the Dorm where you had a consistent season over a couple of years and you really got a good idea of your opponents. The seeding mattered a lot. There was, occasionally here and there, you really felt like, oh, I would have done this or that better. If I had just played a little bit better here, we would have gotten a better seed. Or, oh, if we had just gotten a better seed, I know we could have made it around further. This stuff does matter. So I know that this is definitely something both teams are really invested in winning here, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Absolutely. And these two teams, they've definitely got some history here in Storm Division and just around Heroes of the Storm in general. Heavy Impact, a long-time squad playing together for a while. Members of GG Till I Die, they've been playing with each other, against each other. It's all been sort of a meld together over time, as it tends to happen with these teams, but pretty much an entire squad of veterans on both sides. So it should be a very storied matchup. There's going to be a lot of insider info in a lot of these games.
And that competitive experience really changes you into a different player. Because I always say it's very obvious when you see someone that hasn't played a lot of competitive and you see someone that has. It leads to differences in their communication, not only in what they're saying, but also what they're hearing. The players that have been in competitive have much better target focus. They are much better about informing those around them what they're doing. They play around vision better. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see two teams that definitely have been around the block a few times and can show us a little something beyond the basics. You know what I'm saying? I want to see something impressive tonight.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to it.
We're probably not going to see the full cheese. These teams are serious. They're going head to head. They want to give themselves the best chance to win. But you might see some flair here and there. You might see a tricky flex pick. You might see an interesting tank or two. You never know. Whatever you think's going to give you the edge that game. That's what these teams are going to go for.
I love that you mentioned the cheese, because back when CCL was the Community Clash League, or the Celebrity Clash League, before it was the Community Clash League now, I was part of the team that pulled out Juice Pirates in the grand finals. All right, yes. And won that game. And won. Okay.
Sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah,
you got to get that point.
They call it cheese. I call it strategy. All right, that's all I'm saying. So I'm always excited. You know, and for me, I'm excited to see any kind of comp, right? Because I may not enjoy playing against them, but you know, it's completely different as a spectator, where you get to see something unique, and you don't have to deal with playing against the perfectly crafted hammer comp or whatever. That would make me want to cry if I had to play against it as a player, but as a spectator, it's all vibes. It's all fun.
It's not too bad. It'll work out just fine.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, let's get into our map bans here. We've got GG Till I Die, Banned Away, Battlefield of an Eternity, and Braxis Holdout. On the side of... Gosh, I just totally mind blanked. Heavy Impact, banning away Dragonshire and Sky Temple. And we're going to be going to Infernal Shrines here for game number 1. Now, I got to break something to the viewers here. This match was actually played on Tuesday. Due to some scheduling stuff, this match couldn't be played on a separate day from other Storm Division matches. So this one, we've got the replays here for you today. We're going to get those going for you here. I don't know what the outcome is. I've got 5 folders. I don't know which ones are empty. So this is all brand new to me. But I think, you know, regardless of it being a replay or not, we're not going to get to see the draft. But we are going to get to see the game just like any time else. So it should be all good. Should be fine.
It's,
but that does mean...
It's the suspension of disbelief, right? I believe that it's happening in real time in front of me, and that's all that matters.
It is for me. I wasn't there.
Yeah, it makes no difference, right? It's new to me.
That's right. We're here, we're getting into it. Which means we can go right into a game if we want. We're going to Infernal Shrines for game number 1 here. Unfortunately, no draft. We're going to have to call out the heroes as we see them, but I believe we are all set. We're going to be getting into game number 1 here. Let's press the button and hope that nothing breaks. Sometimes watch with others is a little bit cranky, but should be okay.
I had a game just earlier this week where I was trying to watch a replay by myself. I went back 10 seconds and got the balloon bumper boys to replace everything's model. I'm talking the walls, the minions, the heroes, everything was that balloon that says, we have no model, no texture for this. So I seem to be in just fine, though.
Yep, I think we're in. So let's do a game. Game number 1. On the left in the blue, we have GG Till I Die. Maka is on Vala, Vince playing Varian, Legacy is on Whitemane, Fancy Pants playing the Tassadar, and Jay is on Rhaegar.
Then over on the other side, I believe that was GG Till I Die on the left, making heavy impact on the right. Perfect. And over on Heavy Impact, we have Mason Blaze going to be pulling out that Hogger, one of my favorite characters to watch but not play against, like I said before. Weary Day on the Malfurion, Tremor on Garrosh, Roger playing Lunara, and Infrared on that Tychus.
Looks like we've got a pretty standard pick comp here. We got the Garrosh into Malfurion, Tychus to burn them down. Going to be pretty lethal if they do get the catch. But we've got a cleanse coming out from Rhaegar. We got a cleanse coming out from Whitemane in this double healer setup.
Yeah,
it's sort of a clash of strategies here.
For sure, and double healer, usually when you see that, you know that they're here to win team fights. And if you're talking about winning team fights in Infernal Shrines, you want less of this happening that just happened in bot lane for blue side, as we see first blood being taken by red by Heavy Impact.
Picking up the first kill there.
I don't have the fancy UI that you guys have, so I just have to remember.
All good, all good. Yeah, I mean, you saw Tassadar down there in the bottom lane. Unfortunately, that shock ray means you can't move, which means Garrosh is running at you, and you just got to be like, oh no, there he goes. Oh, Rhaegar actually taken out in the top lane there. 2 quick kills here for Heavy Impact.
The Tassadar Garrosh matchup is always a really interesting one to me because Tassadar himself is very immobile and very squishy. It is pretty easy for you to get punished if you are not paying 100% attention to your positioning. However, if your positioning is solid as the Tassadar, you do a lot to help your teammates survive whenever these characters go in on you. Garrosh can be heavily interfered with in his plans to approach someone or his plans to escape if he has to deal with that force wall. The armor reduction of Archon makes Garrosh significantly easier to damage a burst down. So I think there's a lot of really interesting back and forth, specifically in the Taz Garrosh matchup, and similarly the Taz Stitches matchup for very similar reasons. So that's always a hero I've got my eye on.
Jay went right in there, relying on the healing of Whitemane, and look at that. GG Till I Die actually bully off this camp. The double healer coming in big there.
Hey, Crush, I have a quick question for you. How many tanks are on the left side here?
We got Varian.
But what would you say is the tank level 4 pick for Varian, Crush? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, you know, usually you pick up your tank talent at level 4, but if we take a look here, I'm seeing a Colossus Smash coming out here from Vince. They're just going for the blow up here.
Smash, but I heard a Colossus Smash as we're in lane there. Oh man, it's great.
I mean, you've got your Tassadar Vala, you've got bursty abilities on those two. If you're looking to kill that front line, some negative armor certainly wouldn't hurt.
Absolutely. It's something I talk about a lot. I always scream from the hilltops that math makes armor stacking very, very solid. Garrosh is a hard hero to kill when he's at high armor, but armor reduction takes away massive chunks of his effective health pool. So, of course, who's got armor reduction in this comp? None other than Varian with that Colossus Smash. So it would not surprise me to see this sort of comp built around just attritioning out this fight while simultaneously going for kills on the Garrosh. It's a very interesting strategy. However, I do think it makes a lot of sense into this enemy team comp that we have, where we have a comp that can be a little bit susceptible to burst damage here. So So far, it is a bit of interesting back and forth. Slight experience lead for blue, but red's easily going to take this first Punisher.
Yeah, we see GG Till I Die not wanting to move in on that point after the lead that was picked up by Heavy Impact, so they're just going to go ahead, get some push in the top lane, and then we're going to move here to the mid. I imagine there's not going to be a ton of burst over the wall here, because the wall is still standing. Vince going to get that jump there. Two are going to get stunned, but looks like everyone's going to be okay, especially with that double healer. I'm not expecting a lot of kills off of the Punisher jump this game, at least for Heavy Impact here.
Yeah, if anybody's going to be killing off that Punisher jump, I'm thinking about potentially that Colossus Smash follow-up, maybe a Force Wall. Tassadar has long ranges on his damage, and in fact, Lemmy Smash has been called in chat by my pal Vince here. In reference to the level 4 pick, I gotta say, the ability to not only play this game live simultaneously and DM in Twitch chat is truly an underrated skill of our Grandmaster and competitive ladders. One Vince is showing at a high level right here. That's competitive expertise being shown, my friends.
You figure, you know, HGC level, you're live tweeting the event as well. You gotta just up that skill set, be in multiple places.
Yes, you're hacking the enemy team's team cheat channel or team speak channel. Forgive me, a bit of a Freudian slip on that one.
Oh, we got to throw on to Maka. Big vault coming on out from Vala, but nice healing. Legacy and Jay. Well, not Jay. Jay was in the mid. Legacy coming in there with the save. Legacy getting a little bit low there. Roger with that poison stepping up and dealing a lot of extra damage there. Whitemane pretty good at getting that poison off, but if the fights go super long, Whitemane's mana can be a little bit stressed. So I feel like the Lunara damage is going to help out here for Heavy Impact in these fights.
Yeah, right there we saw the double support special, where a whole bunch of abilities are traded, and a whole lot of damage, and then everybody walks away alive and healthy at the end. It's always the best part of watching these comps play. As again, we see both teams running about even in experience here. Bottom neutral camp taken for red side, but still, like I said at the moment, super neutral, and that's a bloodlust right there.
We've got Bloodlust coming on out for Rhaegar. It is the Jugger, Warbringer, I should say, for Varian getting those extra charges. We got Archon, that is Scarlet Aegis, and the Strafe for Vala. On the side of Heavy Impact, we've got the Shockwave, Tranquility, Warlord's Challenge, Leaping Strike, and Commandeer Odin. Everything looking pretty standard over there. Save maybe the Shockwave. We don't see that every time, but getting an extra interrupt on, you know, two healers that are trying to get a save could come up big here.
Now, I'm just wondering what could have possessed Roger to go ahead and make the decision to take Wild Vigor, especially with the current climate of the recently buffed Choking Pollen at level 7. I honestly want to call misclick on this one right here, if I'm being 100% honest, in this Lunara 7.
Well, we've got Wild Vigor, increases the damage of basic attacks for a couple seconds here. Definitely
Those
not the burst
factor.
Lunara
basic attacks.
I don't know what the math is. I don't know if it's more damage over a long period of time, maybe, than the Choking Pollen. They're looking for just more sustain. But we do see Choking Pollen more often than not, to be sure.
Oh, for sure. Now we're going into this next objective. Still both teams very neutral, but I gotta say there's one combo right here that I'm looking forward to in this fight. It's a combo that we used to see a lot about a year ago, and that is the Archon Bloodlust combo. You just have this super huge Archon running at you, attacking at full speed, getting that life steal off, getting so much bonus damage, reducing everybody's armor, which is going to be a pain for that Garrosh and Mouth trying to keep their teammates alive. Oh.
Varian going to be thrown in here. Jay trying to get away, getting healed up though by Whitemane, will survive. Look at all that healing coming on through. GG Till I Die. It's like they never took any damage. Going to jump onto the point here. Archon is going to expire. Still about 10 minions behind, but Vince is going to get isolated for a moment. Tychus is just drilling on in there, and even a double healer can't get around that. Varian is going to go down here. That's going to allow Heavy Impact to jump back onto the point, and I bet we're going to be seeing a Molten Punisher coming on through once again for the red team.
I feel just from a level of teamfight execution, if Heavy Impact is able to Garrosh combo the enemy tank, the tankiest member of their team, into double support in a straight 5-on-5 and walk away with that kill, to me, that indicates a fundamental failure in either
Oh
the
my
draft or
goodness, Vala.
execution. Speaking of execution,
Taunt coming
Vala
out
right
there. Oh, Taz goes down as well. Legacy is being chased away. There's the into the fray. Leaping strike out from Roger. Tremor with a fantastic knockback. And that's Whitemane going down as well. Wow, we were just saying maybe those Punisher jumps aren't going to result in any kills for Heavy Impact.
Hey,
But all of a sudden, there's a triple.
I don't know when Crushinator started speaking French talking about we, but that was mostly him. I was looking forward to seeing what we could do, especially off that Colossus Smash, but it actually went the other way.
Yeah.
And I was just speaking about how that teamfight execution from Blue left a little bit to be desired, and I can't help but feel like we saw a bit more of the same there in the bot lane, as finally one team starting to take a real advantage in this game, starting to pull ahead. Heavy Impact's now up a full level, and right now what's on their mind is getting that 16 advantage for next objective.
Next objective, we don't have it on the map just yet. You'd think it'll be top lane, but sometimes it isn't, if I recall my random Heroes of the Storm facts. It's often in the third spot, but sometimes not, so we'll have to see when the highlight comes onto the map here, as we see Heavy Impact going for the right side camp. There it is.
There's only one specifically that I know, one rule, which is just, it's not going to be at the same spot it was last time. And that's pretty much the logic that I use to influence where the next objective is, which will be top lane right here, as we see. So we now see the graphic on the map, which means it's not that far away from its 30-second warning announcement. And Red Team is setting up for that situation. Siege Camp, in my opinion, capped a little bit early in that bot lane by Mace and Blaze. You want that pushing during the objective, pressuring the exact opposite side of the map. But regardless, with the timing of this, that window should pop up soon. And Red is looking at a healthy 16 advantage, likely to be up here.
That will force a clear down in the bottom lane, and we're going to see Garrosh moves in for the throw onto Vince once again. Taunt coming on out here. Big ult coming in from Legacy, though, trying to get the save onto Varian. Looking successful for the meantime. Shockwave going to come on out as well, but Legacy staying alive there. That Whitemane anti-dive healing. Legendary in its abilities. But the Outlast coming on through from Heavy Impact, and they're just going to siege away this top fort.
Yeah, and having the advantage of the fort here is really nice for securing this top objective. It means that you're more safe to run away, whereas the enemy team cannot contest the objective as safely. And also, Red side has the advantage of having a healing fountain, which just went away for Blue side, which represents another significant advantage in securing this next objective. Right now, Red with a very deep invade, they know that while they enjoy a level 16 advantage, there isn't much Blue side can do about it, especially without a conventional tank to control the macro. They're now going to roam out of here, continue their XP advantage, and it honestly wouldn't surprise me to see them maybe split push a keep next objective.
We'll have to see here. The remaining siege camp is being stolen by Heavy Impact. They've got the Palantir advantage. They've got the point control of Garrosh, so they're just going to walk their way on in there. Right now they're setting up in the mid, trying to see if they can catch anyone on a rotation. GG Till I Die is playing fairly passively here, rightly so, considering the situation. Getting picked in this scenario would be pretty devastating as we head to the top lane for our Arcane Punisher.
Yeah, the more that I look at this situation for Heavy Impact, that red side here, the more I feel like there's nothing really forcing you to contest this objective. You have all the freedom in the world to split push those keeps down, get as much soak as possible. If the enemy team gets a Punisher, boo-hoo, they maybe get a fort out of it, but they don't catch up on experience.
Look at Tremor here.
Regardless.
Tremor moving in. Taunt
Tremor
onto 2. Shockwave going into the back. Maka going to be thrown. Vala continuing to strafe. Being healed right back up to full here. Garrosh getting turned on. Garrosh going to go down. Weary Day with the Tranquility trying to kite backwards. So low, but does end up surviving. The burst combo couldn't quite come through fast enough before GG Till I Die went right back to 100% there.
And so the conventional wisdom about double support is that the thing that the comp is going to function best at, just as I was saying at the very start of the game, is that it will be amazing at team fights at 5-on-5s. And right there we saw the strength of a fully formed late game clumped double support team. It is very hard to get kills and it's very hard to win 5-on-5s. And in my opinion, now Heavy Impact is doing what they should have done a full minute ago and finally starting to pressure out the opposite side of the map. The ability to do this into a Tassadar's wave clear is a little bit questionable, and it looks like they're going to back off before they get more damage onto that bottom keep there.
Vince is still mounted up here, but with Mason Blaze on the mount, Infrared going to mount up as well. Looks like, Mason Blaze sticking around there for a moment. Risking it all for the wall, but they do walk away. And the objective is still shelling away on the top side. Maka going to move back here before the full death squad comes on through. Oh, Tremor going to hang out here for a moment. Uh-oh. Vince going to be thrown back. There's a nice cleanse coming on out, but the taunt. Oh, Varian goes down. Now Jay in some trouble. Going to pop the Bloodlust just to make sure that's on cooldown. Legacy and Fancy Pants trying to get away here, but this is looking like a possible lost cause. Root comes on out. Legacy is just kiting in the background. Actually, they split effectively enough to let Fancy Pants get away. And Legacy will ultimately go down.
On the other side of the fight, Legacy was still healing Fancy Pants, even from that far away, trying to get him back up as much as he could. Legacy sacrificing his own life for his teammates, but that does open up for a very strong bottom keep push that even has the potential to threaten core here. However, the
Varian is up in 8 seconds. Rhaegar not too far away.
That's just going to be a keep. They're going to walk away. They're taking a lot of damage in the meantime. And they are going to get on out of there, enjoy a level 20 advantage very soon. Basically, after stealing the siege camp right here, red side will be up 20. And from that point, they need to make sure that they actually use that window of advantage that this will offer them.
They did lose top keep, so the minion wave they're still pushing. No catapult, though, so it'll be cleaned away by the core. So keep for keep trade. But, you know, probably worth it there for heavy impact. They were going for possibly more there. And they've still got their level 20 advantage to work on, as you said.
Yep, and here we see red team. I hope to see a strong mid push without letting their
Tremor's up there.
Out.
There we go.
Tremor fishing for kills, but not able to find anything. Now red side's going to want to just sit here. You can already see that level 20 Odin pots. It may seem a little premature, but you have to remember that with Big Red Button, Odin lasts an absurd amount of time. It's something like 35 seconds just about. So this siege here, this Odin's here to stay long into this push. A lot of damage being sent in, and blue team without the tank's ability to step aggressively forward here. I just can't help but feel like everyone is a little bit too squishy to challenge. And then you combine that with the fact that Hogger has 50% AoE spell power reduction on the entire team, including the healers, and it's just so hard to play the blue team's win condition.
There goes the keep. 2 keeps down here for heavy impact. Maka continuing to poke forward with that multi-shot, currently at 56 stacks. Is Tremor going to be waiting for any poor soul to wander on by? GG till I die, just going to sit back and wait. Frozen Punisher will be coming through the mid lane next. And that'll be, you know, GG till I die, definitely going to be looking for 20, definitely going to be looking to move up towards that objective. Because if they get a Frozen Punisher marching down the mid straight to the core, they are definitely in big trouble.
Yeah, and we can see here, red team would have loved to continue to utilize that level 20 advantage, but that top lane was just so pushed in, and trying to push a keep sans a minion wave, and you don't have the ability to consistently summon a lot of extra stuff to tank that keep, can be a problem. Minions deal a big amount of damage on push, so it doesn't look like red side will be able to force the game while being up level 20, and we are going to see a 20 versus 20 situation where red only has a moderate advantage, so this could go a lot of different ways.
Weary Day just poking over the wall there with the root. I see you.
Hey,
a Sentinel Wisp with the sight ward there. That's funny. Shrine going to be activating in the mid. There's Hogger setting up the spin. We'll see how infinite that's going to be.
That's a lot of confidence in your spin to start doing that much
We're already a little off kilter. We're into the U formation. Tassadar going to go ahead and scout that out. Here comes GG till I die. They're moving straight through the lane here. Tremor trying to hold the flank. Roger trying to make sure that they're not in range. Uh-oh, Tremor going to be caught on the wall there. Has to pop the Unstoppable.
There's the Odin that we know and love. Odin highly effective at controlling this area, just closed in by these walls. Maka taking a lot of damage in the back right here, has to avoid Big Red Button. Actually just tanks it anyway. Love to see it. Both teams duking it out. Archon has been popped.
Oh, big Bloodlust. There's the ults. Unstoppable on everyone. There's the taunt. Oh my goodness. Vince
Marcus
trying to
taking
move
big
forward
damage
and
in the
get a
back.
smash. There's Hogger with the no control in the background, just spinning all over the members of GG Till I Die. They're going to have to start kiting backwards. The Punisher is going to go over to heavy impact here.
And just so much pressure being put out by that big red button. All that AoE damage, especially when the enemy team is forced to clump in such a consistent area over time. Just the raw impact of that Tychus 20 cannot be overstated in this moment here. And I feel like Blue Team is almost investing for that exact kind of situation, but they still can't win it. Their team fight win con still a little bit questionable, but the core defense so far going okay. Able to successfully bait Punisher towards the top keep, and that's, oh, that throw on Legacy. Could have been terrible, but it looks like there's just too much core damage to deal with, I think, Crush.
Roger just kiting along the outside, poisoning that core. There's Hogger going to spin on through for a moment, and the push just too strong there. We're going to see Heavy Impact pick up the first map. GG.
GG. It's quite the game right